Welcome back to another video. This time I've got something pretty exciting. We're taking a look at a couple of the newest LEGO Star Wars sets. These are the two smallest ones from the most recent wave. We've got the Captain Rex Y-Wing Microfighter, and then we've also got the Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack. And I just want to take a moment to appreciate the fact that LEGO has actually released a couple of sets here that I have basically no problems with. There's a couple things, but for the most part, everything here makes sense. We've got really good minifigures based off of new content, minifigs that people wanted and that are actually cool and fun. And then we've also got returning characters like our Phase 2 Captain Rex, which previously were very expensive minifigures, very difficult to get. You remember what happened in 2013. And I decided I would combine I guess my review for both of these into one video because they're both pretty small sets. And let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. The Captain Rex Y-Wing comes in a pretty small box because it's a micro fighter, and all we really get is an image of the set on the front. It looks like he's flying over Braca or something in the background. And taking a look at the back, we just get another image. He's walking around, he's scouting the area. And then we also get an image of the stud shooter. There's some other images on the sides, nothing too important. There's a closer look at the figure. Of course, looks better in the packaging than he does in real life. But it's a nice little box. I'll definitely throw it away later. And the Battle Pack Ambush on Mandalore has a pretty good looking box as well. I do really like the box art for this one. I think the colors just go together really well. Taking a look at the back, you can just see more of what's going on. Some of the action features and things like that. So the Captain Rex Y-Wing, this is a pretty highly anticipated set because of the Captain Rex minifigure it comes with. I'll take a look at that in a second. Just going over the build real quick. Now, of course, it's supposed to be based off of that 501st Legion Y-Wing that we saw Captain Rex and Ahsoka escape in at the end of Clone Wars Season 7. It's a microfighter. It's not going to be exactly what you're looking for. I wish they could have made this into a real set. I've been wanting a Y-Wing for a really long time. That was hard to say. The last one we got was 2019 or 2020 with Rise of Skywalker. Very mid. No way I was gonna buy that. So I wish they would have made a regular set out of this, but in the end, it's a very cheap way to get the Captain Rex minifigure. So I can't complain. There's a little space for you to fit the minifig right there, a little cockpit. There's a control panel, and that's what it looks like when you place the figure inside. I've always loved the microfighters for, what they are. Like, this is kind of like Mario Kart, but for Star Wars. You got the purple thrusters on the back. I think that looks very cool. Blasters up at the front, and you do have these stud shooters here as well. They just don't work, apparently. There we go. And that's going to pretty much be it for this Y-Wing Microfighter. There's what it looks like underneath if you're interested. I think it's nice, but it's nothing really worth keeping around. It's literally just like made for children, and I'm not a child, so I don't care about it. But I think it's cool. I still think it's kind of cool. And this right here is what we've been waiting for. Finally, we have another Phase 2 Captain Rex as a LEGO minifigure. Hasn't happened since 2013, which was a very good minifig. I'm still trying to get that, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. And originally, this minifigure was released in a pretty expensive, we're talking $750, Ultimate Collector Series set that was the Venator from the Clone Wars. I did not get that, or else I'd probably make a video about it. But everyone's expectations were that this figure would remain exclusive to that set, which makes sense because it's so expensive. It's going to be so sought after. Why would they put minifigures in a set that expensive that they're going to release later on down the line in a set that's like 10 or 15 bucks? Why would they do that? I don't know. They've done it several times, though. It's kind of frustrating, I can imagine, for the people that do buy those really expensive sets. But LEGO do what LEGO do, and here we are. Now, I support the decision because I think this is an important enough character that you need to be able to purchase this for, cheap. I mean, this is Captain Rex we're talking about. He's like the most popular Clone Wars character. He's probably in like the most, this dude basically was my childhood. So I think it's important. I just don't think they should have put a Captain Rex minifigure in that Venator set, especially when they were planning on re-releasing it. I just think they should have put something in there that they wouldn't have re-released. So there's my 2 cents on that. As a minifigure though, this is very good. As you can see, there's no soft goods waist cape because Lego is dumb, I guess. We have a soft goods pauldron right here, as you can see, looking very nice. And you know, for the past few years, Lego has just been printing on the waist capes on all their minifigures, not just the clones. It's on the Snow Troopers as well. I think it looks objectively worse. You know, look, if this is what we started off with, you know, it's not super ugly or anything. It's kind of like, you know, because Lego will make changes for no reason, like just for the sake of change. And I feel like this is one of those things, because clearly they can still do soft goods, and they've been doing some soft goods waist capes in other sets, not Star Wars. And so why they're not doing it here, I don't understand. I'm probably going to end up buying a custom waist cape from Clone Army Customs. That's what I did for my Commander Fox minifigure, and as you can see, he looks so much better for it. I really love how that ended up looking. But without the waist cape, I wouldn't say he's just egregiously ugly or something like that, but I would definitely recommend that if you own this figure, you definitely get one of the custom waist capes, because it would just make it look so much better, especially since we used to have those on our clone troopers. It's something that honestly I can't really live without. Other than that though, this is one of the best looking minifigures I've ever seen. I love that we get that arm printing. Look at that, doesn't that look so good? That's beautiful. Now normally we don't get arm printing on minifigures. That's why I'm spazzing out over it. I think the helmet looks very good, and we do got that rangefinder right there, can be moved up and down, can be removed as well. And we got the holes in the helmet. I'm not too upset about the holes in the helmet, I'll be honest with you. And you take that helmet off, you get to see the head print underneath. That's just Captain Rex right there. He's got a bandage over his forehead because he got his inhibitor chip removed, so that's cool. No detail on the back. It is just, I guess, the exact same figure that we got from the UCS Venator. I thought they would maybe make the head print exclusive by not including the bandage, but they included it here, which is kind of crazy. So it's, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm like wrong on like one or two little details, it's like the exact same minifig. Still, it's extremely beautiful. I'm in love with it. I'm just gonna have to get a custom waist cape. And moving on to our Mandalorian battle pack, which I feel like we get one of these every few years now, which is a good thing. Mandalorian battle packs are some of my favorite things to exist. I love Mandalorians so much. I'm just gonna go ahead and get these little side builds out of the way. These are basically, we have a crate here, and you open it up and you could put a grenade inside. Wow, that's fascinating. And then you also get a turret build. It's a stud shooter. It shoots. Fascinating. Now getting onto the meat of this set, we have a decently sized build for a battle pack. I believe battle packs are like 20 bucks now. You know, they used to be like $13 back in my day. But I think for what you're paying for, it's a decently sized build. We'll take a closer look at the build later, but I just want to go ahead and get those minifigs out of the way once again, because that's the main reason you're going to be buying this set. So first up, we do have a Night Owl Mandalorian. This is basically the female Mandalorian. I think you get some pretty cool prints on here. There's some silver. You can see the light reflecting. I really love the shades of blue in there. And we get the brown to break it up with like the boots and the belt. It's a pretty good looking minifigure. And it looks like they printed on the helmet pretty well. It looks really good. But you take off the helmet, it's just a black faceless head underneath, so no one specific underneath there. You do get a blaster pistol. It's a nice looking minifigure, but it's nothing too crazy. And you take a look at the second minifigure you get in this set. This time, I believe it's supposed to be like a male Mandalorian. Just judging by how the body armor looks. And something like, I don't know, are all the Night Owls female Mandalorians? That's something I just haven't researched myself. They usually tend to be. Basically, in this set, you do get a male and then a female Mandalorian. And taking a look at this guy, once again, looks pretty good. I think they messed up a little bit on the helmet. Lately, I say lately, for like the past, I want to say like 5 or so years, they've just been messing up the Mandalorian helmet prints just a little bit. I feel like the visor is printed too low, and it needs to be closer to that brow that's like sculpted into the helmet, like right up here. I feel like it needs to be just the visor print just needs to be moved up slightly. And as you can see, just comparing that to one of the older Mandalorian figures we've gotten, it definitely seems like the visor is set a bit too low on the newer one, which is kind of annoying. It doesn't look bad, but it looks less good. And once again, you just have a black faceless head underneath this guy's helmet. And we do get 2 of these Imperial Commandos in this set. They are both identical completely, and I think they look really good. These are going to be some of my favorite looking Imperial minifigures. I just love how they look, the prints, the detail on them. It's just very immaculate. Just look at that leg printing and the torso printing. It looks really good. I think the helmets came out very good as well. Taking a look at the back, you do have a jetpack with a printed tile piece on there that is not a sticker. And taking off the helmet, once again, just a blank head, nothing special underneath there, which is what I prefer for most of the Trooper minifigures, just because really in universe they are supposed to be faceless, no identity at all, and I prefer that with the Trooper minifigures. And finally, getting onto the build, there's nothing too crazy here. As you can see, it's just some mountain terrain. It's supposed to be taken from that final battle from Season 3 of The Mandalorian, which took place in this giant underground cavern where there was an Imperial base. That's kind of what we're getting here. We got this Imperial facility doorway that's in the side of the rock face. I think everything looks pretty good here. You get a decent amount of space to put minifigures and have them fighting and whatever. There's a decent amount of variety in the pieces used, so it's not like you're just getting a bunch of stuff that looks the same and looks kind of bad. I think the terrain here looks pretty good. You even have clips that are on the sides so you can attach it to the larger battle set from the Mandalorian Season 3 finale. I don't remember exactly what that set is called. It's the one that comes with the Mandalorian Moff Gideon that came out alongside this set in the same wave. So if you wanted to, you could attach this set to that one, which is a very cool feature. And moving around to the interior, there's once again pretty much nothing in here. There is a clip where you can store an extra weapon. There's a little shelf right here where you can have a minifigure kind of like standing in the fortifications. And then you've also got the stand for the minifigure that you want to have that's using their jetpack. They've got like a little transparent piece there so you can make it look like he's flying. You just detach it from the stud on the back of his leg, and you could put any minifigure on there that you want. And it's on this ball joint here, so you can just rotate it around, put it in pretty much any pose that you want. And that is gonna do it for this set. That's pretty much all there is. I think it's really good as a battle pack. I like it a lot. The minifigures are great. I think you get a pretty decent amount of value here. So all in all, I definitely recommend you get this one as well. So that was my look at a couple of the new LEGO Star Wars sets. That was the Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack and the Captain Rex Y-Wing. A couple of really good sets. Of course, they're smaller. They're not going to be too crazy, but I feel like for the minifigures you're getting here, it's definitely worth it. But that's about all I have to say. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.